Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the channel. We are on our way in to do some grinding at Sardegna, and with that we've got a new vehicle. This is the R34 GTR V-Spec. Particularly bought this one with the blue livery just to accentuate its history, its tradition. This is the one colour I remember it in. There are a few of these examples around, and the price is going up every time. So with that, let's go and take a look at the setup. Car settings will be medium tyres. We've got a PP target of 800 for the grind, as you know, but we're on 776.23. Suspension fully customizable, everything default, nothing changed. Differential fully customizable, nothing changed. We have the torque vectoring center diff default. We do have a front splitter, side skirts, rear valance and a rear wing. Normal stuff, folks. If you know what they are, that's high level end plates 20. Downforce on the front 130, rear 360, ECU fully customizable, no changes, nothing on the power restrictor. Transmission fully customizable, racing 330. That's about right for where we want it to be. No nitrous. The medium RPM turbo, we've held back there for fuel economy. This packs out 861 brake horsepower. It is plenty. We've got no anti-lag, but we've got the racing intercooler, air cleaner, silencer and exhaust manifold all at racing, brake system with racing slotted discs, brake pads at racing and a brake controller, racing clutch and flywheel and carbon prop shafts, every possible option installed, every weight reduction and the increased body rigidity. So we're at the Sardegna road track. This is track A and it's 15 laps this race. Settings for the race will be assist, traction control 1, default ABS, active stability management on and counter-steer assistance on strong. We're grinding, folks. It doesn't matter what you have on. It's about making it as easy as possible. Controller settings, nothing changed from normal. Controller steering sensitivity 5. Force feedback max torque 5. Force feedback sensitivity 6. Should we get stuck in? We are grinding, folks. This car is well worth purchasing. It's available in Brand Central. It's one of the default cars from Nissan. I do advise you go and buy it. It's worth every little penny. So as we just roll that to fuel map 6, we were trying out a new camera and a new camera position, and this is ultimately not going to work for us, the new position. So I've moved it back up to the top. And let's get on with the grind. Let's get back to where we normally are. So fuel map number 6, targeting 5 laps. We're going to 2-stop this one on the mediums. We're going to see if the mediums will actually go that distance. Just got to be gentle over revving the car. We're going to just rev it to the midpoint of each gear. See if we can get this round to 5 laps, which is where we need it to be. This engine doesn't quite sing as some other ones that we can hear right now, the 458 and the RX Vision there, absolute beauties. The downforce on this car is tremendous. We're just going to take the outside line, cut as close to the grassy knoll as we can. But this car, you can place it on a sixpence. It is absolutely pinpoint accurate. And it's extremely quickly accelerating. Extremely quick. Try and speak the correct English. We'll let these boys fight it out. Lift off the throttle. Coming through the first lap with a 41.0. Well, 41.1. We were expecting a 41.0, but that's not too bad. Braking on the 150. We're in 9th place. We've got plenty of fuel, so we can just rev it out a touch. As he runs it off the circuit. Revving it out for the first time, which was pretty poor, but we're grinding. We're expecting these mistakes. We're building these cars to be quick enough, fast enough, and have the right strategy to allow you to make mistakes. Can't be error-free every day. We're not that good. That's why we have the ASM and the counter steer on. Anybody disagrees with that? Well, what's the frustration of going 15 laps and losing it on the last one because the car is so twitchy and it makes it easier on the ASM and counter steer? And if you think the setup needs adjusting because you can go faster with it or you find it easier to drive, please make those adjustments. This setup isn't anything complicated. It's default parts, and all we do is tune the aero to make it the PP, and then we drive what we get. If you want to go and adjust anything, that's entirely up to you. But the demonstration in the video proves that it's good enough and quick enough and capable. All we're doing is planting the seed for you to go and enjoy the grind, because that's what these videos are about. So the next lap comes in a 1:37.793. We're fastest lap. We're in 6th place. We're going to see if we can catch Portilla before the end of the 4th. I don't know whether we'll be able to. He's only 12 seconds ahead as we give Mr. Mendoza a bit of a ceremonious dumping, but he's in the police car looking Aston Martin. But this car is an absolute... oh, it's so good to drive. It is so accurate. 50% of fuel just going, 2.5, so we're on target for meeting the pits on lap 5. Absolutely spot on. A little bit of drift. The tyres aren't looking shot at all. There's plenty of life left in these mediums. Around the outside of Mr. Lopez, there we go. He's our teammate for the day. It's the new brother, isn't it? It's the younger brother of that car. Or should I say cousin? It's not that closely related. No, I think brother's right. Or is it father-son? Or is it grandfather-father? Well, I don't know. Family relations, 2.1 on the fuel meter, we're good. Grind it in 6th, brake on the 200. 8.9 seconds behind Mr. Portilla. And we put in a 36.5. I don't think we're going to be close enough to Portilla to catch him by the end of the lap, but just concentrating on the race, listening to that engine. So Mr. Portilla's gone to the pit. We didn't get anywhere near him, but we've just put in a 1:36.8. So we hold the fastest lap of 1:36.5. We've got enough fuel to get us round to the first pit stop. This could potentially be the second fastest car we've used. The first fastest car we used was the R92. And I know some of you already know what the next video is, but we're going to bring to you the most expensive engine swap that I've ever done. and I had to buy an entirely brand new car to do the engine swap, but we'll talk about that next time round. Rear tyres just taking a beating from the power then. We are 7 seconds ahead of Mr. Beauvoir. We're definitely changing tyres at the pit stop. We've only got 0.2 left on the fuel, so let's just short shift our way through. 0.1. Drop down to 0.0. We're in. Let's take the mediums and we'll take all the fuel. .5 seconds ahead as Mr. Beauvoir and Mr. Fraga both come to the pits. We've got a bit of a paint scuff on the left side. Fuel's going in. Up down to 5th place have all come in. Mr. Yamanaka, Mr. Rubelar all come in. Mr. Bishop's probably going to head in as we leave. Oof. Mr. Bishop and Mr. Portilla both running hard. See if we can keep with Mr. Portilla, or at least put him behind us. We're going to go all the way to lap 10. He's going to pit on lap 8, so we've only got 2 laps to run. Well, 3 laps technically, 6, 7 and 8 to run with him. Mr. Bishop's giving him a good thrash, isn't he? He's pushing him hard. We need to remember to actually change gear to save fuel. We're just going to lift off as we go around the outside of the 458. I need to... We outbraked ourselves there. Not the best outlap, is it? We need to bring the 458 to this circuit. A few people have said it's a great car, you need to get it here. Because that looks like a full GR3. We haven't made any inroads on those two guys, have we? They've both come past us. We've been a bit sloppy. Mr. Bishop goes to the pits then. Let's chase down Mr. Portilla and try and understand where we can be faster. We do have the fastest lap of the race, so we are faster than he is generally. We just have to be smoother and make less mistakes than we currently are. Car powering away. We can't really let the car have the head because we've got to save that fuel. We've also got to repay some of the bank that this has cost us. My word, credits have been flowing from the account. We're supposed to be grinding, but ultimately every single credit spelt on this car is absolutely well worth it. And he's actually got his toe down a bit as Mr. Portilla. We're purple. We are catching, so it's not as if we're slow. To be in the purple sectors on lap 2 of any stint, the fuel weight's going down. He's going to go one more lap and then pit. We come off that corner extremely fast. 3.1 on the fuel, we're doing good. 35.7. He's currently questioning how a car on a two-stopper can be any faster than he is. He wants to have us beat, but he's not going to get away. He is out accelerating us, but we've got him into the corner. We've done enough to save the fuel to actually rev this out up the hill. There we go. 2.5 at exactly the right time. We probably braked a little hard, but that'll just give him a check-up from the neck up. And then we just absolutely blow away from him. He's given up at that point. Let's cut the grassy knoll. There we go. Just made it through there. He'll be quick until we pass him, and then he'll back off. We've got cars in the pits, so as we come round we could be ready to overtake some. There's some, the last car there is going out, so Portilla goes to the pits there. We did the mission we were expecting. And who is it that we're catching up on? We're catching up on Mr. Gallo. As we purple sector again. That last lap was a 38. But we were trying to get the best of Mr. Portilla. So we did the job. As Mr. Gallo threatens me up the inside. We've got one lap to do after this. Grassy knoll. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Second mistake of the race. Damage. We were thought we're having to push on a bit, but we shouldn't have. This car is extremely quick, even in a full FM6. We've just released the damage from the front right wheel that was giving us problems down the straight. We're 15 seconds ahead of Mr. Fraga, and we've already lapped one racer, and the second racer to lap is in front. I wonder if Mr. Gallo's actually on like a one stop, and that's why he's just going tremendously slow. Mr. Inostroza then, second car to be lapped, but he will unlap himself because we're about to go to the pits. We've got half a tank of fuel left. We've got plenty of fuel to get us there. Just need to get this corner correct. There we go. Try and bring it in to get into the pits. Come on. We had more left that time. This is our final stop. 37 seconds ahead of Mr. Ordonez. We should be in and out and away. Ordonez, Mendoza, Fraga, Yamanaka, Beauvoir should all be stopping for the pits this time round. Fuel's going in. Was that Mr. Gallo unlapping himself? I think it was. We're out and away by the looks of it, well before anybody comes round. Car comes out of the pits in the wrong gear completely. Mr. Portilla, because Mr. Ordnez has gone to the pits, is only 10 seconds back. We're now charging for the finish line. 5 laps to go. Not overly complex. Mr. Portilla is within 6 seconds, but he has to make another stop. He's on a 3-stop routine, and we know from our process a 3 stops really successful with the right car. Just wonder if the Viper is the right car for the 3-stop. Wonder who this is that we need to overtake again. It looks like potentially Mr. Gallo again. It is. So it'll be the second time we lap Mr. Gallo, but he's overtook us as we came through the pits. He isn't going to be a hindrance. Lap number 12. We're probably just overhitting on the fuel there at 3.8 at that point, but let's see if I can put in a squeezy of a lap. I did declare this to be the second fastest car that we'll have used. I don't mean in terms of lap though, I don't think. This will be the third fastest car. If we can put in a really good lap, a low 34, maybe even a 34 would bring it definitely into the contender for the second fastest car. But I don't think we're going to be generally a low 34. I think we're lucky if we, yeah, especially on this lap. Now we've slid it deep, we're not even going to get a fastest lap there, and now we need to back off because fuel has been burnt. So we blew that. Yes, we need to save fuel now. So if we're running 37s to the end, that's where we're going to be. There's me checking the times again as Portilla goes to the pits at the end of lap 12. 3 laps to go. I don't think we're going to finish a minute ahead, maybe this time. I think that pleasure is going to be reserved for other cars. It could surprise us though. Time is going up now. Fraga is in second place, 25 seconds behind. Bishop's gone to the pits for what looks like his second stop. Mr. Kawakami will observe the flags and make way. One is short. 28 seconds in the lead. A 39 over a 37. We were pushing for 35s. Driver, not the car, I'm afraid. And again, we've missed the braking point. Driver, not the car. But this is the reality of grinding. Not everything is going to be perfect. I'm supposed to be selling this to you though, aren't I? So I'm supposed to be better. We've gone purple, but we've got to be careful with fuel. We've got to finish this race with fuel. We can't be coasting our way to the line, can we? We've got 28 seconds in hand. We're going to be fine. We're going to put 3 more cars between us and whoever's in second place. We saved fuel by short shifting. Grassy knoll, we made it. Mr. Cookerbun showing us how to drift it. Tries. Mr. McEwen, we'll use your draft, sir. 1.1 entering the final lap. 30 seconds almost ahead of the guys. We've lapped up to 12th place. We've got plenty of fuel. Mr. Frager is pushing on behind. We're only going to finish somewhere around 30 seconds ahead of him. Tyres are starting to feel the pain. I don't think softs would last the distance. So what do we think? I think it's an absolute stunner, both in looks, its history. It's a great car to run round the track. If you would pick this one car to be your grinder, I don't think it'd be a bad choice. But in the next video we're going to offer you an option. An option that will say to you, oh, should I? Should I do 3 more races to be able to afford this? Maybe it's a natural progression. But in the next video you'll understand why. So here we have it, coming around to the final lap. 0.3 left on the fuel. See if we can stonk it all the way. And there we go, we finished with 0.1 left on the map. And there she is, bumps and scratches. She looks a little bit low on the track. Maybe could do with a bit more height, but it don't get any problems with the wheels in the arches. But what an absolute beaut. One to be kept in the garage and one to be used. A 25.39, so not the fastest out there. Fastest lap of a 1:35.758. Other cars have lapped up to the 11th car, which doesn't put in a bad category at all. Very capable grinder. And of course the delivery to the bank balance a further 727,500. And you'll see we dropped 3 million in credits between the last race and this one, and that unfortunately is the expense that you're going to have to pay to invest in this car. But at 303 miles for the day, you can see we've been busy. So there we have her. Absolute beauty. It's up to you what you choose. And with that, folks, we'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care.